I'll start streaming on the OBS on Monday, the 21st of April. Oof, we're 1 week away from the 100k party, and yeah, it's getting pretty interesting. So let's just have a look at some weekly closes right now. Well, actually, we'll start with this. The reason I circled this is I was showing someone the volume delta, one of our new-ish members, the volume delta, and you'll find that most of the volume delta comes in around the December Open, which is I think 97k. So yeah, if we were to gain this really local structure where we are right now, I think obviously the next level would be 90 to 91, and then the yearly open, and then finally 97k, and possibly even like, you know, 98 and 100. That would probably cap it off. But yeah, it's not looking too bad. We're kind of getting up there a little bit. If we were to gain 87.5 on a daily close, then yeah, I think we're gonna see like 91k and then possibly even 93. But yeah, it's looking generally pretty decent. And then yeah, December's gonna be an area to possibly take some nice shots, but we'll see. In the real short term on Bitcoin, yeah, I just think we could see a little bit of a pullback from our weekend pump. It's been nice. Whoa, we've been pumping on the weekend. I did uh, have a little look last night when I was going to bed, and I saw this massive pump candle. I was like, whoa, what's going on, guys? Look at Pax G. Yeah, let's do that, and we'll look at Hive in a sec. Why is this bugging out? But yeah, this is a level that we've been talking about for a little while, sort of just like this supply zone, where there was the major liquidity that we've mostly taken right now. There's a tiny bit more just up here, and if people start shorting now, there'll be even more up to like actual 88k because we hit 87.8. So yeah, just expecting this to come down and then do a bullish backtest and keep going actually. So yeah, um, looking pretty good, looking decent. We're pretty happy with it, and there's not really too much else to say. Um, Excuse me. Let's look at Pax G. Oh, because gold, yeah, gold's going crazy. So Pax G's obviously just running, which is lovely to see. How the bot's doing, Zeus, my boy. Gold has had a little pump. Beautiful. Love to hear that, man. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. Eggle's a little legend for that one. We might as well just check the gold. Yeah, they look probably exactly the same. Interesting. Someone needs to do some like Uber Fibs tops, like the 12-15 one on gold. Maybe I should try do it. I still need to dig out that video that I had with Smolio where he like one-on-one me it, and then I just never used it again. Well, I did, but yeah. But yeah, Pax G and gold, nice little run here. We love to see it, and yeah, it's gonna keep going. I don't see any reason why that can't keep going. um, Hype. Yeah, Hype's looking really good. And yesterday we actually did the bullish retest of this swing that I have drawn on. So yeah, this is also looking pretty decent because this was a little bit of resistance up in here and here, and now we've tested it as support here. So really, obviously, we have like a very local bit of resistance here now that we create this like little supply zone. All in all, though, yeah, it's looking pretty good, and sort of we could probably just maybe look for a long in here, but yeah, I like that for continuation. I'm still in my long, like 3x cross, bro. 3x cross. And yeah, we've got some hidden bullish on the 4 hour, so generally probably going to keep going up until March, and then we could possibly talk about shorts again somewhere in between 19.8 and 20.8. But yeah, pretty good, pretty nice. We'd love to see it. So he's changed his name because he's the hyperliquid guard. He's the guard. But yeah, let's go into some weekly closes. Sorry I'm yawning so much. I stayed up really late last night. Like really late for some reason. And yeah, I just literally just rolled out of bed and was like, let's do a stream. But yeah, weekly closes generally on Bitcoin. Nothing really to shout about here. ETH. Let's actually check ETH on the oscillator. Should we take that away? Yeah, I want to just get that. You know we got to check the old ETH. So yeah, we got one wick into the band with the W reversal. We're on the supply zone. We've closed above the swing, the weekly swing, right on it. So yeah, we're also in the oversold territory on the weekly time frame. So I think this is like I said. Whoops. I think, like I said, this is probably going to go up to Q2, and then if it doesn't break the first time, we're going to come back down and double bottom, and then we're going to get something on the oscillator, and then yeah, we're going to start climbing up. I generally think that this is probably going to be the bottom, some sort of bottom. I mean, I've been saying that, oh, by the way, since 2.5, so it might not be. It obviously could go down to 1K. 1K is obviously like, I think if I got to 1K, I'd buy a few ETH. But generally, like, yeah, maybe you might as well buy Bitcoin as well. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leverage trade this. I think I'm gonna long some ETH. It's worth building like a little position just here for me. And then yeah, I'll short the Q2. Short the Q2, long that. That's fine. I probably should be long on it anyway already. But yeah, ETH is just doing ETH things, and yeah, not too bad. Solana is going to keep going because let's just have a look at the weekly. Pretty nice weekly close. Above sort of 133, which was actually really nice, sort of like this structure. So now we're kind of building something out. There is also a stuber down to the lows. Actually, no, there isn't. We're just finding resistance on this previous swing from back here, which is also the level to gain, by the way. So I think we're getting very close into like the reversal sort of like major short territory. I don't think we break through this on the first go and go to there. I would be very surprised. That would be a very powerful B bottom. I would I would think it's more likely that we get maybe like a pop and then come back down and retest sort of like some of this stuff. And that would look really good for market structure. So if I get this out, we obviously have this low. This is the lower low, and then we'll come and do a test up here from this, and then we'll do a retest of all of that, and then it'll just look very good, won't it? It'll just look very good, won't it? So yeah, that's the main ones. My FET trader's going absolutely bananas. Shame I only have about 10% left in it, but yeah. Ooh, where you at, Brummy? That looks really good. You somewhere in Asia, brother? Yeah, I'm gonna be in Asia after the 100K party, and I'm gonna try and stream That's where I'm going to try to stream. So I'm going to take a week off next week while I'm in Dubai. And then the week after, I'm going to be in KL, Kuala Lumpur. I'm going to try to stream from Kuala Lumpur. And then maybe go to Thailand. Yeah, Malaysia. I'm coming. I'm coming, bro. I'm a coming. Yeah, it's really cheap to live out in Kuala Lumpur. Like that and Bangkok and Thailand and stuff. I'm 4 hours south of you, mate. Lol. Malaysia's big then. Malaysia's massive. Yeah, I'm gonna be in KL, and then I might do some like exploring or some. I'm gonna try out some like some of those long stay apartment complexes for like 2 or 3 nights. I'm gonna try out a few of them and see like No, I've never been to KL before. I've obviously been to like Nam, Thailand, Cambodia, but yeah, I want to do KL because it was really cheap to get a flight from Dubai to KL. So I actually wanted to go back to Thailand, but it was so expensive to get from Dubai to there. And I was already like half, Dubai's like halfway there already, but it was just so confusing. But yeah, it was pretty cheap to go to KL, and I've never been. I want to like try it out, see if there's some nice places. You need your street smarts? Yeah, don't worry, mate. I've got street smarts. How could I not? I literally, my my borough is the most dangerous borough in London. Oh, actually, the second most. It probably isn't actually, but yeah, it's not great. Anyway, how long are you gonna be there for, bro? If you're staying for a couple weeks, well, I guess it would have to be at least more than two for me to catch you out there. But yeah, Fet's made a new high, which is nice off this. This is really good, breaking some structure here. I obviously think it's probably going to reverse here, so I'm actually going to sell off the rest of my trade literally after this stream. And yeah, we're probably going to come down and retest maybe some more levels. This is nice. This is really important. This was also support back here. That's been tested. This has actually been tested as well. Really nice. But yeah, if we were to come down, I would want to maybe see us hold somewhere in between this and this. And then it will also be holding sort of like this as well. So, and then this would just be the deviation into here. And then yeah, we can hold sort of like, this is probably the Q2. Yeah, it's in between the Q2 and the weekly open, that the top of that structure. So yeah, not looking too bad on Fet at the moment. Back next week. Oh, okay. Only a little short stay then. What time is it over there right now? Because if I stream, I'm gonna have to stream at that time there. They're like what, 7 hours ahead? Yeah, 7 o'clock. Interesting. That's the only bad thing about that area of the world, like Malaysia and stuff. Super cool, super great place, super like cheap, very fun. You know, get like a little Thai massage and stuff, but it's like the worst time zone ever. Literally the worst for trading. Yeah, facts. Like that's the only thing London really has is the best time zone ever. I guess Dubai is pretty decent, but still, the daily close will be at 5 a.m. That's not great. Yeah, that's not great at all. But yeah, so does anyone have anything specific that they want to look at, or do you want me to rate your trade setup or rate your trade, or are you looking for anything in particular? Because I haven't looked at the charts, so um, what's Fartcoin doing? We could short Fartcoin, you know. Anyone interested in that? Well, I definitely think that looks pretty decent. Whoops. literally bang on the yearly open and A86. It's perfect. There's also probably a micro one actually, like a really micro one from there to there because it's like a break of structure. Hmm. You want to see that fail the weekly open now? It's not bad. Interesting. I'm gonna take that micro one off and just keep it like that for now. This is definitely something that's quite interesting. See what that. Yeah, we're right at that 4 hour band. We've already had a wicket. We've actually had 2 wicks in and a W reversal. So yeah, that looks like it's gonna go down. But Fartcoin's such a weird. It's such a booky coin. Like it gives me grass vibes. It just trades very very strange. Deep proper juicy. Yeah, let's have a look. Unless you like honey and chaos who don't sleep. Yeah. Yeah, chaos really doesn't sleep. I don't know about honey. Honey's a clever guy. Should get him on the team, man. If Bitcoin barts this morning, fart will as well. Yeah, I think Bitcoin's gonna bart. Like what Sunday move hasn't been retraced recently? Literally every weekend. And we also just hit that major lick pocket just below 88k, so it's in render, it's in stew pocket. Alright, cool. Nice. Let's have a look. Yeah, but this is definitely something that is quite interesting because of that one wick into the band, stupid pocket, yellow open, obviously all that sort of jazz, breaker structure, blah blah blah. Deep dot p. So yeah, that didn't happen. This one happened. That was actually like like a textbook long down here. If anyone was looking at those levels, this is yeah, it's looking interesting. I'm leaning more towards shorting this actually. What do you mean juicy for a what? Obviously, it's a bit premature to short it right now, but I definitely wouldn't want to long up into this. Hmm, interesting. That just initially did what? Hold on. 7%. Not bad. Actually, not bad. What's this do? 10%. It's actually moves pretty good. Quite similar to Popcat. What was that? An equal low. That's 20%. Yo, that's actually decent. Let me add this. I don't know why I haven't added it before, but deep.p on Bybit. Yas. This is like gonna giga bear div as well. That's a giga bear div, bro. So yeah, maybe one more pop into there. We'll take some of that liquidity just above here. There's probably a decent amount sitting like right up above here. So like we could get that like one ping and then like the failure and then come back down and retest. I kind of see that. We could even come so far back down as to 7 cents. This right here could actually get retested again. I don't know why I'm drawing it like that. I should just draw one of these. Yeah, that looks nice. It has been retested though, so I guess it doesn't really need to do it again. But if we were to fail the yearly open, then yeah, 8.4 and then 7 cents. Nice though. Looks kind of trades like PopCat, bro. This kind of reminds me of PopCat a little bit. The Pop Kitten. Thoughts on Tau and of course PopCat. Yeah. Let's do render first. Render. So yeah, we're getting nice squeezes on a lot of things. Damn, this is good. This is really good. What is that? Is that a 4-hour swing? Yeah, it's a 4-hour swing. That's untested. That is. Ooh, that pump faked you. Did the gain. Yeah. So as high as this goes, wherever it fails, I think this is going to be retested, and this is probably going to be retested at some point. I think that, look, we are giga bear diving as well. I think that this sort of like 3.9 to 3.75-ish level, I think that that cools out a little bit to me as an area that would be nice to catch along. That I don't think is going to hold, but it might just provide a bounce. Also, the same as the weekly open. I'd actually be interested to see the volume on render. What's the vol saying? Whoops. Yeah, we're above the node. This is really good. I like render a lot, and this is why I always look at it literally like every session. Did that get the big selling candle as well? Yeah. Where's the Here we go. Yeah, so this got the classic reversal like combination. Oversold and reactive in the harmony, paired with two major selling candles at the bottom, and the retail stay when coin demand topped, or if you have it inverted like Viking and be bottomed, but I just leave it like that. Yeah, this is like the typical reversal trifecta. And we're making a new high as well, so really nice. I like that, man. That's got a lot of good volume on it. So in the short term, if we go to the hourly, you just can't really short this yet. It's just in an uptrend. It hasn't broken any level. It's retested everything. If anything, you kind of want to long the weekly open with a tight stop just so it comes just possibly back up into here, and then you might get a double top. However, it's just, yeah, it's just, it could go as far up to as to November. Let's gain that. This is looking really good, man. This is looking really good. I like that. That's cool. What's the move off the lows on render? Nearly 100%. Damn, that's good. Yeah, I'd wait for a little bit more developments on this. Let's see how the daily candle closes. I don't. If it'll be interesting to see it close above like 4.43, 4.43, and then yeah, if you really wanted to scout this out, daily weekly open, and then 4.63 ish. That high might be quite interesting to make a play on. But yeah, I like this a lot. This is giga bullish, and it was kind of expected with the whole like America doing all their data centers and doing all their stuff like that. But yeah, really good, man. We only trade the good stuff around here, the good stuff. So yeah, thoughts on Tau? So I believe that Tau has a halvening, like Bitcoin. Let me get a fresh chart. I believe Tau has a halvening, and it's like in December, if I remember correctly. 99% sure it is. And yeah, so this is gonna be the like giga low that we actually lost and have since regained. So, whoops, having a mare this morning. So I want this to just be the deviation, and that was the regain. That was actually a really, really nice regain, and we've since made a new high off that. So this is the start of trend change. All we need to do is come and like hold this now, hold that Q3, and we're off to the races, mate. There also could be like a little something like that if we were to do like a really nasty drop and like do like that, and then maybe like we drop that level and do that, and then do like a full retest of that. But I would be expecting that to hold around 220 to 230. So yeah, I think this looks really good. And yeah, I did not buy any at the lows just because, yeah, I thought we might get 70k Bitcoin. But yeah, if we do come back down again, I've obviously got my bag. My bag's from like I accumulated it a little bit too early. It was like around here. It was actually on this like massive wick candle there. So I'm still kind of chilling on this. Like I'm probably near break even now. So yeah, looking pretty decent. In terms of the tradable side, yeah, if you hold Q3, that's a giga long level. We look like we're dropping the weekly open now. So what you could do, excuse me, is pull a little fib where that stops. Probably might do something like that. Actually, it's a bit preemptive to do that now. Let's see what happens. Damn, I actually get some movement. Nice. I just don't. There's not really a play on this at the moment. We look like we're failing that. We look like we're failing this daily weekly open right now. We could probably come back and retest August. But there's just so much support now, and this is what you want to hold. This little block. That's what I want to see held now. But yeah, it looks really good. I like it a lot. Tau sound, vroom vroom. That's gonna be your daughter, bro. When you have a daughter, are you gonna project Mbappe or project? I don't know. You don't know what that is. Are you gonna try and make your son an athlete or something? Football player. He's got the genes for it. In Europe, we have like what's known as like project, and then like a famous footballer. I'll give him any resource he wants to excel. Yeah, fair. Fair enough. Last but not least, the old little pop cat. So, yeah, pop cat for me, it's it it's looking good, but I think it could come down and retest this. This is my area of interest for pop cat. I don't think we go and do that without retesting this. It rarely ever happens. There's also a Stuber now, which is here to here. Whoops. Why does nothing ever click? There to there. I would also be interested in that as well for a long. However, I want to see the hold of the Q2, and I would long that. for PopCat. That needs a retest for me personally. That's kind of done here, so we don't really need to do that again. But yeah, I think this is just very strong, and we've also made a new high now. So let's do a higher low, and then we can, yeah, we'll be trend changing, bro. We're doing the trend change on a lot of things, and the one that's lagging behind is ETH. Look, ETH looks shocking, shocking, bro. Popcat's done the game. It's done the higher high from here. It just needs a higher low, and then we're gonna go ping. Please, sir. And then we all just sell our bags. Sell, sell, sell. But yeah, I think it looks pretty decent. If we go into like really micro on PopCat, because you can do this, it does swing a lot. For example, um, this is obviously going to be support here now that you've done this. When you're up here, if you're looking to long that, which is quite nice by the way, because this is a 2% range on PopCat, is exactly what you want to see. And it pumps 14%. Do you know what I mean? What's that risk to reward? That's 7 to 1. Is it? Something like that. Bro, I made chicken fried steak last night, which is deep fried. Wore the shirt to the gym this morning. I smell. Bro, I always wear like just like fucked up shit to the gym. Like, who gives a shit? Everyone stinks. Apart from them girls that like put all their makeup on and like look good, and then complain when guys like try and hit on them or like walk in their TikTok video. Chicken fried steak. That sounds amazing. I can't eat deep fried shit though. I'm a pussy. What's that? Hyperliquid Pax G. Oh boy. Europe's trying to block you, mate. Europe's on your ass. Europe is on your ass. So yeah, we have bearishly retested this sorry, we haven't bearishly retested the weekly up on PopCat yet, so there's possible short there as well. Let's just have a look at this. Yeah, it's about 2%. You maybe want to get it slightly higher, like in here, in there for the failure. Unless it just does that right now. But yeah, nice little range here, actually forming on the lower time frame. We could get a few scalps if you're creaming for it. In general, I'm very happy with the market. I think we've been happy for a little while now. And yeah, I think Bitcoin's gonna potentially continue. Not right now, but I think it's gonna. I think we're gonna see 91 and then possibly 93. And then, if we're really lucky, we'll see 96, 7. And then I think that's probably where we maybe start. I think it's obviously too early to say 97 and then 93, but the majority of the volume is in between here. So if we were to gain this 88k on a daily, I can see that. And that'll be the low. But this Q2 needs a retest, so well, it doesn't need it, but it hasn't had one yet. And this is obviously going to be heavy support. It's just boogie that we haven't retested the Q2, isn't it? I remember I was talking with Crypto. Was it Crypto Poly or Crypto Pattern? They got very similar names and icons. We were basically just speculating that this Q2 being untested is not nice. And I thought we were going to take this liquidity first up here and then go and retest it. I would like to see quite a violent like and then a regain of that, and then I would just think everything's system go up to up. Everything system go. But yeah, there's loads of shorts in the market right now, so I think we're gonna maybe squeeze it after a retest. So yeah, I think that might be it for today. I don't really have too much else to say. Apart from everything generally looks quite good. I wouldn't long anything now, but yeah. We're making new highs. This is actually, nah, I wouldn't short that yet. Actually, nah, nah. Uh, Actually, it got caught right there, didn't it? We're likely going to see some pullback soon. I might actually want to get into a couple shorts. Yeah, look, that even like lit grabbed the top over here back in the start of April. Aprilish. Nice though. Very, very nice. So, things to watch out for while I round off. Hype short, if anyone got on that, then GG's, but it looks to be going right now. If anyone caught that this morning, then G to the G. Wait, what? Did I just delete this too? Anyway. Yeah, I would probably. Obviously, major TP is down here at the weekly open. That's going to get retested. Every sort of coin's weekly open, daily weekly open is a possible short-term bounce up back into the highs, and then yeah, I think we might see a little bit lower on Bitcoin, just in the very, very short term. I mean, we're getting it right now, aren't we? And then yeah, long your longs. I will be longing. I feel like we kind of just missed the shorts, literally just before I hopped on. Yeah, let's delete that as well. That's failing its weekly open. So yeah, for stuff like this, you could potentially short that on the retest, but I don't know, man. It's still in an uptrend. I wouldn't really mess with it. Maybe the March, because then once we do that, yeah, mm, it's um, it's precarious. I'm not really. I don't want to force it. I just want to long lower down, and then yeah, if I miss out, I miss out. But it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the price action. That looks like it's That looks pretty decent actually. AVAX. Now why they don't want us to trade hyper is strange, but then Cali peeps are a bit strange to me. So can you not access Hyperliquid at all? Oh, they pulled those orders, by the way. The next orders are at 86,550. Let's also have a look at this liquidation data again. See, look, like this fucking coin blast thing is so misleading. But I don't even know if CoinAnk's legit as well. Maybe I should just use Kiyotaka, shouldn't I? Stop being a little bitch. Yeah. Anyway, it's been a good one. I hope everyone's enjoying their Easter weekend. Haven't gotten in yet. Damn. Shall I try? Let me check mine quickly. I'm not streaming my. Yeah. Let me. I also have a virus protection thing. Hype. Let's check my hype trade as well, guys. Guys. Oh, what the fuck was that? Yeah. Yeah, I can get on. I'm up 18% on my hype trade so far. Damn. That shit was down like 80% at one point. Lol. What's happening with my tier as well? Is anyone still in a like really down tier trade? The Yeezys. Uh, oh, not too bad. The entry's only what 4.1. I might try to average that down a little bit. Yeah, I might try to average that down. Might be a MetaMask thingy. Nah, mine works fine. I use mine with MetaMask. Oh, as in they might be blocking MetaMask. I find that really weird. Yeah. Do you know what you should do with that, Egil? You should, I mean, unless you've got a lot of margin into it, you could maybe try and average that entry price down and then put the leverage up to 2. Actually, I don't know. Nah, maybe just leave it for now. I'm thinking, yeah, I know. It's basically a spot trade. I am thinking of averaging my buyer price down from 4.1 a little bit. Because if we look at tier, let's just look at this real quick. This is if anyone's in underwater trades, this is going to be very helpful for you. So I've got the major resistance on, which is right here. I mean, it's like we've got 2 weeks into the band right here. So now that we've done the like whole massive thing and the market's starting to turn up a little bit, if we do that retest, that's fine. I think longing, sort of like accumulating a little bit just here, and then obviously we don't want it to go below here again, is a good shout just to bring the entry price down. Say your entry price is here, just to bring it down into this vicinity. And when it's in this, if you just leave it up here, once you get back up here, you're still going to be in a loss. You're still going to be in a loss to selling your trade in a loss. Like the aim of this is to not sell your trade in a loss. It's not to make profit. It's just to not make a loss. And now that we've held it so long, so if you were to just buy like accumulate a tiny bit around here, your entry would come back down into that vicinity, like I said, somewhere in here, and then when it does the gain of the Q2 and starts getting into this resistance, you can start selling off bits of your trade at like basically no loss. I mean, it also depends on how much margin you have in that trade, but um, now that I feel like the market is turning up a little bit, obviously on the way down, you don't want to accumulate on the way down because you're just going to knife catch and you don't know how far it's going to go down. But now, if this is like, for example, a close above there, then a retest, bang, accumulate a little bit, and then hopefully we get like that, and then you sell your trade there. Because I know quite a lot of us accumulated a little bit here, and it's like you could probably get your entry to like this swing somewhere there. But yeah, I'm in at 4.1, so I'm actually at these highs already, which is not too bad. Just a little bit of advice because we've all held trades underwater. I held a Luna trade last bear market on like 1.5x for like a year. Like a year. And I was down like fucking 80% on it at one point. And then I sold it for like minus 10%. It was felt so good. It actually felt that before, after, after the crash. I think I longed it at like, what was it? Luna? It was after. I was trying to catch it. I was being a bit of a fucking idiot, wasn't I? Yeah, so it was somewhere in here. Somewhere along there. I thought, yeah, let me just put a trade on and like I'll sell it when it gets up in here before the bear market. Nope. Held it through all of that, sold it here. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I longed it on here. It was about 1.2 and then held it throughout this whole thing. And then when we had this one spike, I bought a little bit here to bring my entry price just like here to $1, and then I sold it on this fucking pump. I was like, yo, that's actually great. But you have to know that this to this is 230 days. 230 days I held that trade. And it went down 70% raw. It was a painful one. It was a painful one. That was when I was a bit of an idiot. I wasn't the best trader back then. That was all the way back in, what, 2023? Yeah, I swear the market makers got surveillance. Yeah, let me